Welcome, guys, to Beard and FRIENDz, episode 88. And today I'm going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, this week, for me, has been a bad week. Not the worst I've ever had, not the worst I've ever experienced, but it's been a bad week. And it got me thinking, what a great topic to talk about for a moment in time. We all have these bad moments. Every one of us. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're doing. You're listening. You're watching. This is playing while you're just listening and not watching. I don't know, and I don't care. The fact that the same 10 people do it and view it at least every week, or at least 10 views every weekday, it's not right, but week makes me feel good. But that's a bad week that I had. Now, without getting into it, I want to go ahead and talk. We're going to pick that right back up. But that's the kind of bad I want to talk about. The kind of good I want to talk about is the good things that happen in life. The kind of ugly is the ugly. Y'all see what's going on here, right? The good, the bad, the ugly. I touched bad right there because I want to go ahead and just keep you tuned in for just a moment. So, what we're going to do is go through life having all of good things happen. But if it's not what we want, then it's bad. And if it is what we want, then it's great and it's good. And if it's, you got these situations in our lives every single day. I'm almost, to really talk about it, I'm almost speechless because it's almost like you just got to go through certain things in order to understand. So, the good that we have in our life is actually, in my opinion, an everyday occurrence. Do you count the good as, oh, I really hope this would happen, I'm so glad this has happened, that's a good thing? Or do you count your blessings as good things? To me, I just was telling a bunch of guys this week, last weekend now, everything that you do, we're blessed with. For us to be able to even complain, and I've said this before in the show here, for us to be able to complain is actually, it's a blessing. It's a good thing. So I think that way. Well, I don't know what you guys consider the good, but that's it. So let's say it like this. All of the good things that we have in our life, we are blessed to do. And by us being blessed, we should reciprocate that back. Now, that is so easier said than done, and I understand people are going to be like, Big Beard, this is where, you're trying to walk the walk, talk the talk, walk the line, toe the mark, walk the line, I can't. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm literally trying to tell people, at least once again, in my opinion, that the good in our lives is it's a blessing. So let's go out and say, hey man, hey girl, Hey, dude, what's going on? Let me tell you how, whether it's God or whether it's a good situation or a Samaritan moment or, see, I can't, it's hard for me to pick them out because the real good ones, they're not planned. They just happen. But for us to have those good moments, you got to understand some people don't get that. Whether they're deceased, whether they don't care, whether they have no hope, which I think everybody has hope. It's just me. Those are good moments. To listen to somebody talk for real and not complain, just talk, that's a blessing. But if you hear them complain, that's a blessing. So it's all good. I'm just saying. It's one of those things that lead me to the next topic. I'll get in that topic in just a moment, but remember the good. Count that. I will guarantee you that most of y'all's, and maybe they don't. I disagree. I don't care what it is. Most of your, and mine included, list will be my positives outweigh my negatives, even though I can get the negatives where I want them right here. The positives will always be here, off the charts. That's just me. Just me. It's hard to be that way, but it's true. I really do think that. Now, we will go on to the next topic, which is the bad. As I was saying just a moments ago, that I've had a bad week, and I was going to touch back on it. So here we go. Without telling you every single detail, it's not the worst week I was saying that I've ever had. It's not that, I'm probably going to have way worse and more bad than good and bad if you, through the weeks, I mean. So, but I've learned to try to smile. And that's hard, at least for me. Through the bad times, I've always said this, I don't want to be the reason people are having a bad day. It's weird, even if I'm getting on people's nerves, I'd still rather people look up and go, man, he gets on my damn nerves, and go on. But I don't want to be like, oh my God, he just ruined my day. Oh my gosh, I just can't do this. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. He just gets on my nerve. Look at him. I'm going to go jump off a cliff. I don't want to be that person. If I have, nobody's ever told me. I think I can be annoying. Okay? I may be sitting beside you right now watching this thinking, what are they doing? They're watching me and I'm watching myself. See, whatever. I'm just saying, I've learned to smile through all the bad stuff. A lot of times it's hard. But, you can tell people how bad your day's going, and they'll chalk it up like, oh, they're complaining again, they're moaning, and they're bitching. Or they'll say, look, they think they got it bad. But I've also learned that it's real easy for somebody else to say, get over it. Even myself to someone else. I can't speak for everybody. But what I can speak for is my experience. At the end of the day, day comes and I'm going, you know what? I'm still here. The bad is not as bad as we think, but they're going to be there. Some people don't rank them. Some people don't necessarily say this did bad more than last time, and this situation made it worse than this and this. Some people are just one of those, look, it happens, it don't. If you're one of those people, it's still defined as a bad day. I mean, if you're having these, but we're still blessed. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about this. We have bad days that I think we should learn from. I do. Now, this is something I do, and I have done this many times. I'm sure people watching have done the same. If not, I don't know what to tell you, but I've learned from some of my bad days. I've heard over the weekend, it's not what you got or what you know, it's what you do with what you know and what you got. That's deep. Maybe the appearance, like I told some men last week, maybe the appearance makes it look like I'm going to eat small children. But I'm not. Somebody told me, and this is also a topic that needs to come up, is you don't look like the type of guy who'd even know what Jesus is or talk about the Bible or go to church, man. I just, no offense. I don't even know what that means. To me, they just told me what kind of person. That was a bad moment, bad situation. Didn't let it bring me down, but at the same time, I thought about that later, and I'm like, this is what it's all about. Is that the test? Is that what we're supposed to do? Learn from your bad moments. Really believe it. Really believe it's out there for us to learn from. And it's hard to grasp that bad moments, learn from it. Let me tell you something. If you don't learn from something and it happens over and over and over and over and over, and it's a situation and it's a occurrence that you can get out of, and you don't, after a while, a bad decision, it becomes a habit, and that habit it's a lifestyle, and it's a choice. Don't let it be your choice to be in those bad moods, and they're going to happen. Those bad times, bad situations. But is the bad, it's there. Is it the worst? Because moving on to my next topic quick, we got the ugly. Now those ugly moments, I don't mean your appearance. Trust me. None of y'all can be as ugly and outbeat me this right here. I dare you. I dare any of you to try to outbeat this. This ugliness is a gift. I don't mean that. That's not the kind of ugliness I mean. Not physical. It's the ugliness in your life that we're going to face. People, places, things, situations. It can be a mental, be emotional. There's ugliness. I think nowadays, I think the proper word to say things to is, it's toxic. I use that a lot. Things can definitely be toxic. Absolutely. But I still think ugly is in the heart. Sometimes I'm a hypocrite. I've been in those situations. Sometimes I'm not the hypocrite. I have tried to learn. I'm trying. Things are working on me. This is why I speak of these things. Number one, first, hear it from the horse's mouth. You can't see the horse's mouth, but it's in there. But ugliness is mean. The mean kind, the heart. Like I said, I can be that. I think about these things often, and I really go in a place and I get deep thinking, what could I speak on? Situations that have happened to me. Not only when I think the good, the bad, and the ugly, I do think of the Western movie. I know some of you did, but that's not what I mean in this sense. The ugly is absolute heartbreaking moments that people either learn from or get over, or things that happen to you and you don't realize. And there can be scarring. They can be deep. The first cut of these things are always the deepest, and they will always be the deepest scars. You got to understand the ugly moments. Do you learn from that? Have you learned from that? Will you learn from that? That is, to me, the hardest to learn from. Showing someone or situations, in this case, people, a person's true colors. I've known you blah, 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 blah years, and you're my dog, and you're my, homie, you're my best friend. But that ugly moment made it go south. Not south for the winter. I mean south like downhill, below a hell. Like this, wow. Everybody, if you don't, maybe you're already blessed, but most of us have that one moment, that one situation, and it's like, boom, that's it, not happening, not doing it again. That ugly moment. It's because sometimes the moments stay permanent. It's hard. I hope that you have had a great Thanksgiving. I hope each and every body watching has had a good Thanksgiving, will have a good Thanksgiving. Whatever you're doing, may it all be out of love, none angst. May you continue to be blessed. And don't let these ugly moments define you or take over you. Remember, it's what you do with what you know. If you know that these times will come or are going to come, most likely going to come, these ugly moments, prepare yourself. You do have the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I don't think that that's at all a false narrative. I think there's things that people are not going to believe, but I also think it's all for you. It is. I really do. You watching, do it all. The good, the bad, the ugly. It's what you do in those times that you know, you don't have to let it define you, but it's what becomes you. You reciprocate goodness back if you know, come on. It's only right. Some people don't know what it's like to have that love. In ugly moments, ugly has always been ugly. It's like, man, how do you reply to that? But like I said, I've been very, very, very guilty in my life of responding ugly, but it's because of these moments that's made me go, I don't need to do this no more. But I get older and I got kids and they're watching this and they're watching me do these things, but they also know the Father that they see, every day. Sometimes I'm horrible. I feel that I'm just like not worthy of just like being around anybody. I mean, I look at my children, the way they turn out, and I'm like trying to give them things that I didn't have. The ugly moments I thought in my life, I didn't, that's what I did with it. The ugly moments I had, I tried to turn around, give back to my children and do things to them. For instance, this is an example that have never happened to me. That sounds cliche at you, right? I want for me what my kids didn't have. I want for my kids what I didn't have, and I want but I really mean this. I've got a 15-year-old daughter that can change brakes, calipers, oil, rotate my tires, run the jack, and drive the car. She's got a learner's, but that can happen. I've got a 10-year-old that loves to draw. I've got a 7-year-old that loves to take clay and put on his existing G.I. Joes and make stuff. Like, they're all creative, they're all smart. Things like that are the good moments. I didn't teach them that. Those are the good moments. Those are but all the good and bad and the ugly, that's what it was. Those are the small moments, the ones that you got to and you must go through yourself. From who's ever watching. From a preacher to a painter to whoever you are. It's those little moments that we actually cannot describe that make us or break us. Guys, I hope you've had a good Thanksgiving once again. But those 3 things that I say, what do I say? Oh, yeah. Love, peace, chicken grease. Later, guys.
Big Beard.
Presentation.